spread for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest. He's a marketing coach, actor, and of course a voiceover artist, none other than Mr. Kyle Asperger.
Well, Daniel, I am absolutely honored to be here. Thank you for that wonderful intro. Let's get into it, shall we?
Welcome, Mr. Kyle on Book 101 Review. And can you please introduce more about yourself that I missed?
Sure. You did a fantastic job. Let me start with that. On the marketing coaching side, the image here that we're featuring, this is the homepage of my website. It's called Anarchy for a Day. The very simple gist, because I don't want to linger on it too heavily. Anarchy is one of those interesting words. I think people, by definition, probably give it this like, all right, just destroy everything, cause complete and utter chaos. But I'm also a big fan of repurposing, re-engineering and rethinking things. And that process in my vernacular, if we're a bit more tactical about how we employ anarchy, we can leverage it as a tool to break some of the systems that aren't serving us anymore and build toward whatever innovations we're looking for. So that's it. If people go left, how is it that you go right? Differentiate yourself, leverage anarchy, and first, you need to understand the rules. So that's the point of the marketing coach. Simply teach the rules, the tried and true, the stuff that works. Then and only then when we can look at whatever your idea is, your business, only then can we bring anarchy into the equation to help differentiate you and push you into that blue ocean. So that's it. That is the very simple gist. Outside of that, acting and voice acting, it's, dude, there are like 5 or 6 different projects that I'm pushing for leading into November 30th here. So things be busy.
Busy indeed. And thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. Mr. Kyle,
I love the applause. Thank you.
thank
It's exactly
you.
what I needed on this Wednesday evening.
Yes, the audience love you. So let's talk about anarchy in entrepreneurship. So tell us, when we talk about anarchy in entrepreneurship, is this about chaos? But about rejecting rigid hierarchies and top-down control. How do you define these entrepreneurial anarchy and what is the ultimate goal?
Let's start with the ultimate goal. If you're familiar with the blue ocean, the red ocean concept, the blue ocean is quite simply you are floating in an ocean of your own. It means that you don't have any competition. The red ocean, there are sharks and the waters are a bit bloody. So there is very fierce competition. So when you don't have competition, it means you have your own marketplace. So that's the goal, is how is it that, in a very highly interconnected world, I mean, social media, the internet, all this stuff, AI, we now have access to all of these different experts, these companies, these consultants, now AI technologies that are expert at whatever they may be. And so that is ushering in this era of individualized expertise instead of these, houses that say, all right, well, we can do everything. I think the trust for those different opportunities is potentially waning. I think because we have greater access to these experts, or even help abroad, overseas, that may be cheaper, from the business ownership standpoint. So, okay, well, if we think about the end goal, the blue ocean concept, then we first need to be able to look at a specific idea, whether it's our business model, the ways that we are trying to essentially talk about what we do, how we do it, who we serve, any of that. We need to be able to look at it objectively. And what this means is, the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever it means, we must understand it very thoroughly. Then we need to look at the competition that's out there. And that's where we audit them. We do a very thorough look into their affairs, figure out what are they doing, how are they doing it, why are they doing it, who are they serving, do they differentiate themselves, if at all? And it's the concept I think that a lot of entrepreneurs will kind of fall into, is to say, all right, well, they did it, so it's got to work for me. It's a tough one, because if you start doing what everybody else is doing, you're no different. So if the end goal is differentiation, take the research, take that body of data that you've just developed, and then figure out, okay, how do I do something different within the realm of what's possible? How do I perhaps bend some of the rules that have been existing in place, whether they're societally in place, or if this is simply business practice for your specific realm that you travel through? How do we break some of those rules? That's the question. I'm not saying there are answers. It varies strictly by use case, but very simply, you need to have a very thorough understanding of the landscape. It was a
Mr.
very
Carl,
in-depth
what?
question or answer. I hope that gets you there.
Yes, interesting, Mr. Carl. What is about the traditional corporate rule book for building a business that is fundamentally broken, that philosophy of anarchy become a viable solution?
Yes, indeed.
So, what is
Was
your
there more to that?
suggestion?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, what's your suggestion? What is about the traditional corporate rule book that you want to share to us?
Oh, well, mind you, my message is not saying like traditional corporate rule book be damned. The reality is that there are many structures in place that serve us quite well, and it has served many of us. So, how is it that we can take these to inform our practice? Because if we're re engineering something, we need to first understand, okay, well, how has it worked in the past? Does this make sense to continue doing it like this? Can we improve upon this model, for instance? So, think about a very simple use case, of which we have right here on the screen. Sophie, she wants to make a lemonade stand. And so I think a lot of kids would first think, okay, well, why not put my lemonade stand right outside my parents' house? And that way, all the passersby that day, they become my client base. Now, Sophie could instead say, well, nay, nay. What if I were to take my lemonade stand and put it in my dad's construction site? Those guys are thirsty. They're working all day in that heat, and they got the dough. So all of the sudden, she has put herself right smack dab where that thirsty market is. So that little concept, that it's a very simple concept, that is anarchy. Is just considering something different. All right, we're not doing the standard lemonade stand in front of your parents' house. We're going where they are. My customer base, they're here. So go there and serve them. That very simple use case, that's anarchy applied.
Mr. Kyle, this sounds different than just implementing a flat organizational structure. What distinguishes anarchy from other decentralized models, and where does the real power lie in an anarchy company?
Yet again, I do want to reiterate, anarchy does not simply mean destroy everything and complete and utter chaos. Anarchy, I think, in a lot of people's minds is just like, all right, let's just mess it up for sake of messing it up. Okay, well, that's fine. Now, that's probably not going to be great for business if you're just miscellaneously breaking things. There has to be reason and data to essentially back up the decision making for saying, all right, this is why we're breaking these rules. So, as far as anarchy goes, I just love the word. I think it's very beautiful in practice because we can rethink the way that we apply and use some of these words. So, if we're using it in this newer, more tactical sense, anarchy can Very simply, if you're talking about an individual walking into a space, into a room, you can turn this individual into very simply the most interesting person in the room just by thinking differently than the folks around that individual. And that translates directly to business as well.
Interesting, Mr. Kyle. And anarchy seems to require a leader who willingly gives up a central control. How does a founder who is often a visionary and initial driving force avoid becoming the factor ruler they are trying to oppose?
That is a very interesting question. Now, the requirement here is very simply it's an open mind because there has to be a significant understanding to the beauty that is malleability. Trying something new. Okay, how does this fit? Does it feel good? Can I wear this? Do I look good? Do I feel right? Based on the situation. If we're thinking about it from like a quote unquote metaphorical wardrobe sense. Now, the individuals that are too closed off to change, the moment that I hear something is this can't change, this is unmoving, these are not people that I'm going to really be able to speak with about anarchy because anarchy is a very striking concept to them. And individuals that aren't able to change, as we know, those are the businesses that will inevitably shut down. Whether this is a matter of the older generation just being like, this is how we're doing it, yada yada, and then you just got to wait until they die. And if nobody's able to do anything different, then the company's going to crash and burn. Now, for the individuals, the leaders of all kinds, regardless of how big or small the company is, for the companies that are able to keep up with the changing times, and now with AI being what it is, times are shifting faster and faster, like almost at light speed here. And so the terrifying thing for us is, okay, how do we keep up with our own innovations? Um, so I think that's the underlying consideration amidst the general concept that anybody who is seeking to enact anything anarchy related must unequivocally be open and willing to change. Now, granted, this is data based change. I'm not saying change for change's sake. Do it because you sense there's an innate problem, and then go gather data and then separate.
Practical application and building the ungoverned team. Tell us, in the absence of traditional CEO or manager, how are critical, irreversible decisions actually made? Can you walk us through a real example of a high stakes decision your company made anarchically?
So, if I'm hearing the question, when we are devoid, essentially the unchanging leadership, how is it that we are able to make decisions
Decisions, yes.
uh, that hopefully better the whole? I take it.
Hmm. Yes.
The reality, well, there is the shotgun approach, which is just to say, like, all right, maybe this is based on experience, maybe this is based on survey. Hopefully, you've gathered some sort of information to inform the need to just bring out the shotgun and start taking shots. But a shotgun approach is generally kind of messy. You're just taking shots and hoping that something lands on the right target. So there's going to be really two things that could happen. Is one, it's either going to work and you need further refinement to get to the place where you can truly connect with the audience base that you're looking to make an impact with, or two, the shotgun approach is just like, yep, all right, kind of wasted some ammo on that one. This ain't gonna work. So shut it down. Let's go on to the next thing, and hopefully quick. Um, but the I can't speak broadly because it's situational as to the structure of the hierarchy, how big these different companies are. But companies that have I believe this conversational component should say to maybe the engineer, the individuals that are actually doing the hard work, who are boots on ground, have specific experience that maybe the CEO or upper level management does not have. They should respect the opinions of anybody below them because they're the people that are sifting through this stuff every single day. It is what they live and breathe, it's what they stress about, it is what they know. And for leadership to be able to listen that, hear it, and determine, okay, I hear that. I also understand what's going on in the marketplace. That is where good leadership is really. You consider the whole. And, there was an individual that said, you know what? Innovation can come from the people, it does not need to come from the top down. I think that's one of the most poignant components. The people are the people that are doing it. So listen to them and do something about it. Anybody that doesn't, that's all right. Well, good luck to you. Yeah.
Mr. Kyle, as a marketing coach, actor, and voice over artist, what are your short term and long term goals?
Short term, just stay awake. Uh,
I
sleep
like that.
is very important. Here's the, I got to be very, very frank with you, Daniel. I don't have long term goals. And from a coach, somebody who's claiming to be a coach, people could label me as asinine. I'd feel, shoot me an email, anarchyforaday@gmail.com. Tell me I'm stupid. That's fine. The reality is, I kicked up this coaching practice, and now I'm spinning up this whole career on film too. So every single thing that I'm doing in practice is very new to me. So I'm still, think about the work. I'm still going to the gym. I'm seeing which weights feel the best that I can work with, so that I can see the most growth fast without being, a dummy that end up getting hurt in the gym. Things like, so I know that's a little bit of a metaphor, but
People, Mr. Carl is being disconnected while we're waiting for him. I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people. My other podcast, because my abstract essay is already in fifth season. Abstract poetry in second season, and my book 101 review in fifth season too. Comedy 101 in second season, and my food 101 in fifth season as well. Geography 101 in fourth season, and my baby podcast, Law 101 and Mental Health 101, Love Letters in fourth season, as well as my Movie 101 review and Music 101, and my Science 101 and Sex 101 in second season. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcasts. Hello, test mic. Hello. Okay, I think Mr. Carl did not come back, so uh more to come, people. See you soon.
I'm trying to get the camera to turn on.